We're talking with SBR contributor John Ryan from JohnRyanSports.com, doing our weekly Monday football openers show. We just got finished looking at the opening lines for college football week 9. Now we're going to move on to NFL week 8. John, you ready?
You got it.
All right. Well, as of this taping, there's not that many lines that are out. But there's some interesting lines on the card. The most interesting one to me, I think, is New England minus 2.5 on the road against Pittsburgh. I mean, that strikes me as, New England must be a good bet. And I'm thinking that line's going to close like at least over a field goal. What do you think?
I agree 100%. I had that. I actually had the Steelers opening at -2, Peter.
You did?
So I was pretty far off. Now, usually when I'm off that far, I actually go contrarian to what I would predict. So the fact that New England's favored by, it just went to 3.
Oh, it did?
As we speak here. So I think New England's going to be the play. And I guess without looking at the matchups yet, it's pretty obvious that New England's the better team.
Yeah, and I mean, I just think that, the Pats are off of a bye, and I think the public is soured a bit on Pittsburgh and still loves to bet New England. So, yeah, I think this is going to close at like 3.5, and who knows what the sharps will do. We'll see if we get any information later on in the week. Which of the other lines are out right now do you think will move the most?
The one that I'm going to watch closely is the Dallas-Philadelphia game.
Yeah,
that's the 8:20 game on Sunday night. Obviously, that's going to be a huge showdown. The Philly fans will have all day to get all lubed up. Dallas, as I mentioned last week, I think is the best team in the NFC except for Green Bay.
Really?
I think they're playing at a very high level. They played very, very well in New England. For all intents and purposes, they should have won that game. Mm-hmm. So initially here, my lean would be to take Dallas and Dallas to win the game.
All right. Then another line that might move somewhere is Carolina at home against Minnesota. Carolina -3. Minnesota got a cover last week with Christian Ponder at quarterback, and we kind of on our NFL preview on our experts roundtable kind of hinted at that's the way we were leaning. But Cam Newton, last week got the cover again. Right now the line's at 3. Where do you think it's going to go? Under 3 or over 3? Right now it's 3 minus 113 Carolina.
I think it goes towards pick'em.
Yeah.
The Minnesota offense played very well yesterday, and that was one of my 5-star winners on the thread. So although in my eyes that was kind of a lucky cover, it was it looked like the Packers were just going to blow them out, but then Minnesota showed some spunk. Minnesota is a team here that is definitely playing better.
Yeah.
And can definitely match up well against Carolina.
I think that they'll be a pretty good bet, at least in the near future, with all that spunk coming out of them. And then we've got a bunch of double-digit favorites. What do you think about that? Like the Giants -10. Giants -10. I know they're off of a bye. The Titans minus almost 10. I mean, come on. What do you think? What do you think about those lines?
I'd have to go in my database. I'll do it this week, Peter.
Yeah.
And it does seem like the favorites are covering. I mean, last night I had a big play on the under in the Saints game, which the Saints went over the total on their own merit. But who in their right mind thought the Saints were going to pour it on and score 62 points against a hapless Colts defense? But, I mean, I think from week 10 to week 16, double-digit dogs are going to be a good bet.
Good bet. All right, well.
But I think the Giants are favored by 10 for a reason.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will see how these lines move and how they open and move in the upcoming weeks. Thanks so much, John, once again for all of your contributions here.
You got it. Thanks, Peter.
All right. Thanks.